What's going on, guys? Your boys Q420 here, working on back another episode of Day Zero. The powerful one is not with us today, but we do have the immaculate one and spiritual one, and of course, me, the one.
The
Guys,
one and only,
yeah, there you go. Was
the
Thanksgiving
original.
good to you? The original. Was Thanksgiving good to you?
Yes.
Yeah. I
Somewhat.
I I
Mhm.
got chased by wild pigs
What?
in
Javelinas
Sedona.
or
Mm-mm. My
boars?
in-laws are trying to tell me that they're javelinas, which I would have expected because that they're all over that area. And when I heard the snorting and the rustling, and I was night, and I just had a flashlight, and
Oh
that
my
fucker
god.
came booking like a middle linebacker through the bushes, right past me, right into the bushes, turned around, came back again. Then a second one did the same thing. I was like, what the fuck? These weren't javelinas though. These were pigs. I went and looked it up that javelinas max out at about 60 pounds. These things were at least 200 pounds. The
What the
two that I
fuck?
saw, and the third one I couldn't see. And I was
So
like I would have been
dead.
dead.
Yeah.
I would
You're
have been
lucky you're
dead
alive.
if they decided to get me. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. They weren't javelinas because if they were javelinas, that's the size. That's a dog size. These were bigger than
Javelinas
this
javelinas
was
could still
middle
kill
linebacker
you,
size.
but that's
Oh
a
yeah,
lot.
yeah, yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. But this thing was. I mean, I just know how big it was from the width of the road and the size of it.
What the fuck?
Dude, that thing came out of nowhere. All I heard was,
Oh
and
my
it went.
god.
I turned around with my flashlight. I saw it come out of this high grass right across the road, the gravel road. I was 8 feet away from it, maybe. It flew behind me, but as I was turning around, because I'm hearing this snorting, I'm like, "What the fuck is that?" It it went through one direction, turned around, came back, went the same direction, still didn't come at me. And I was like, I yelled at it, like, to try and
Yeah,
scare it.
good.
And then a second one did the same thing, and I could tell there was a second one because the one was going the other direction, and within, like, 1 second, there was a second one going back the other way, right. I was like, "I gotta get out of here." And I was walking from my in-laws' house, the back of it, which is very rural in Sedona. If you know Sedona, they got, all
Yeah.
kinds of critters there. I'm walking from his house to the neighbor's house. I'm staying at the neighbor's house. And I have to go, and all you got is a flashlight, and it is dark. Like, you can see all the stars. It's really great. But that fucking thing came out of nowhere. And
That's
I now I
terrifying.
understand when people are like, got killed by wild pigs, and you're like, oh, that's a shitty way to go. Dude, I was frozen. It took me like a full 3 seconds to figure out, like, I need to be out of here. Like, I kinda just honestly froze. I was
Were
like,
they in
"No,
heat?
this is a bigger
Is
deal
that
than
what
I
was
think I'm
going?
letting it
Was it
on
one
be."
chasing? Is it chasing some pussy? Is that what we had going down?
Well, they're just violent. They're just violent
I think
motherfuckers.
it was just trying to scare me off or something. I don't know. I don't know, it
Yeah.
didn't come at me. It didn't come directly at me. It went perpendicular to me. It went behind me. W but still, I mean, I couldn't see where they were. That's really scary because it's like a horror movie. And by the way, I had jokingly named the neighbor's house the murder cabin earlier in the week. So,
Hmm.
I'm off to the murder cabin, do, 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 and walk back. I was like, holy shit. I'm like, next morning, I'm like, I almost got killed by pigs. They're like, oh, it's just javelinas. I was like, no, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
I'm
I'm
up
telling you right
to the
now, if
murder
it had been
cabin.
javelina, I would have been concerned, but I wouldn't have thought I was gonna die. But those things were big enough to eat me. I'd have been eaten by morning because 'cause I'm not
Okay,
real big.
uh-huh.
So
Okay, so you had a near death experience. I guess I had a near death experience as well.
did you really?
Um yeah, yeah. I was driving home Wednesday night, driving back to where my parents are. So I could have Thanksgiving with them, and there was this truck to my left, and like I was driving, I just looked over and I'm just like, huh, he get mighty close to me. And I'm like, oh shit, he's in my lane. And they bumped me in the left rear quarter panel.
Whoa.
and almost spun me out because you know that's the maneuver that the cops use. Hit your left rear
Yeah,
quarter
yeah.
panel, spin you out. And so the only reason why I didn't spin me out is because I actually slowed down so he wouldn't hit the exact right where the tire and stuff was at, so it would hit more flush with the side of the door. A light nudge. He threw his flashes on. Me and him both. Now it's dark. Okay. Flashes on, pulled on the side of the road. You can't even tell I got hit.
Whoa.
There's no damage
Whoa.
That's
at all.
lucky.
What'd he say?
Oh no, it was a Hispanic guy, and his son had got out of the vehicle, was standing out on the passenger side, I guess looking. I got out and took my phone and had used a flashlight and just looked down the side. I'm like, dude, there's no damage, period. Like, I'm like, tail light ain't busted, nothing. Like,
Hallelujah.
so, almost like, yeah, but when he touched me, I mean, like that thing went just like that.
Wow.
And so I used my fast and furious
Wow.
skills that I got, you know what I'm saying, to get it back under control. But I just walked up to him. I said, "Hey, man, everything looks all good." He said, "Man, I'm sorry." I was like, "All good, man. Y'all have a good one." It's a
Wow.
brand new truck, brand new Silverado was in. I knew it because the tag was still hanging out for your airbag out of the passenger side glove box. So I knew it was a brand new Silverado. So
Hmm.
So yeah,
Wow.
yeah, I
Wow.
try to get spun out. So Lisa, what was your near-death experience? Okay,
I
me and
didn't even
Charlie about to die.
I didn't even nearly die. Mine was like a month
Oh,
ago.
okay.
Yeah. I was
Oh,
early.
okay. Okay, yours was a little early. I got you.
That's wild. That's like
Yeah, I
I've heard
know.
this though. I remember my brother he took my mom to, well, he traveled all over the world and doing all sorts of, like, he taught scuba diving, he taught English, he taught all sorts of stuff. And so he was in Thailand for a while. He had my mom come out to visit, and they were trying to get somewhere up, I don't know, wherever, and rented a car or whatever. And they in Bangkok, trying to fucking get out of Bangkok, which sounds like an absolute nightmare. And then they're in some sort of like crazy roundabout or something. I don't remember the exact story, but someone going like 50 and they're going like 50 or whatever, and the car does the same thing. It like swipes them on the side and like hits their sort of back, that back, same sort of what you're describing. And they got pushed out and they like went off and they pulled over on the, the whatever it's called on the side of the road. The other people didn't stop. But they got out and they're like, shit, this is a rental car. We're in a foreign country. Like, now we have to deal with an accident. The person sped off. Same thing though. There was like not even a scratch, not a dent, not anything to indicate there had
Yeah,
been
there's
any.
nothing on mine.
How
No
does that
scratch, no
happen?
dent. I don't know, but I was going 78 miles an hour. I was
What
on the
the
interstate.
hell?
Yeah, I was on the interstate. Yeah, so like I'm booking it. You
You'd
know,
think like the higher the speed, but maybe because you're matched speeds, like it's not as, I don't know. It's crazy to me.
it was
I don't know
almost
the
like a bumper
physics.
car. It was almost like like he hit me like a bumper car. It was like, boom. And like the minute I finally looked, and I said, "Holy shit, he's coming over my lane!" But I just held the horn down, and the minute I did, it was like, boom, and just my back end got just a little loose.
How do you be behind someone and not see that you're moving into them? Like, I get if
I
you're kind of
think.
in front, right? Like,
Oh
Yeah,
well,
yeah.
no,
You don't
well you
see
see
them because
these
they're
new
in your blind spot.
yeah.
here's the issue though. Your new ride's got blind spot. They got blind spot protection, so it pops up in your rearview mirror when somebody's in your blind spot. In the
Yeah, I know.
in each of the rearview mirrors, it pops up a yellow icon letting you know
Oh, yeah.
somebody's in your blind spot.
Huh.
And so I seen in his, because I was looking at him, and I seen in his passenger side rearview mirror where the blind spot alert was going off, saying, "Hey, there's somebody in your blind
You
spot."
saw that.
Yeah, I mean, like he was right on me. Like if this was a movie and I needed to jump out into the passenger side window, I could have did it.
You should have tried.
Yeah, like
That would have been so awesome if you had
So
done that.
yeah,
Charlie's
jumped out my
fighting
car,
wild
just
pigs. You're jumping from car to car. Like, this is the action fucking show.
yeah. So I mean, it was all good, and then I just drove back home. You know, sometimes people are shook up or whatever. I just drove. I was like, okay, well,
Oh, cool.
I'd have
I
driven
like
to
it when
the
you don't have
liquor
to get
store,
the
bought a
authorities
lottery
involved.
ticket, I think, after
Yeah.
that.
yeah.
Dude, Corey's gonna come back
Yeah.
next week and he's gonna have a near death thing too. We're gonna all have
Yeah,
to
you'd
go
be
through
like,
it.
Well, he is in Florida. Every day is a near-death experience in Florida.
Fair.
Oh man, that's some good stuff. Hey, well look, Trump is he's let Maduro know right now that he needs to leave Venezuela in order to save himself and his family. Okay,
Dude, I
this
fucking
is
love it.
from reports. From
Fuck
He
reports.
should
Maduro.
probably listen to him. Unfortunately,
Yeah.
this is the sad thing: is that he's going to get murdered.
And he
And I
deserves
and I
it,
and
by the way. That motherfucker is the
I'm
biggest piece
I'm
of
I'm
shit on earth.
I'm all for standing up to the American empire, but there's a long list of people who have gotten on the wrong end of them, have gotten knives up their asses, or blown up, or hanged, or whatever. So like
You're not gonna make it.
it's the silver or the lead as far as the American empire is concerned, and they have ways to get to you. And I respect anybody who's like, I'm gonna stand up to these guys or stand up for my people and any of that, like sounds
He's
good.
not standing up for his fucking people. That guy
But
doesn't give a fuck
oh,
about his people.
he doesn't give a shit. No, of
He
course not.
sold them out
But
30 years
but
ago.
but the
50 years ago.
they just will make you pay. They just will make you pay. The best thing to do is like guerrilla warfare tactics against them. Find other ways of defeating the American empire, but like getting into a head-to-head military fight. Like the smartest thing that the Venezuelans did was empty their prisons and move them to the Mexican border and send them into the US. They're insane asylums and prisons of all like the hardcore dangerous people. That's genius. Like
That's why
that's like a 2 for 1.
That's why I hate
You
when
know?
people are like, "Why are we doing this? And what did Venezuela do?" I'm like, "Everything. Venezuela did everything to us." If you were just looking at like what country we should go to war with aside from China, aside from Israel, it's Venezuela. Venezuela has done exactly what you just said. Before that, they also had spent the past 30 years undermining every election we've ever had. And this is like provably true. They sent 3 people up here. They created the software that became the software for every voting machine. Not only did they do that then in our country, but they then exported it to the world. So then they've been doing it to the whole world. And who has been supporting them in that? Israel and China. So like our 2 biggest enemies are also then working with Venezuela. Venezuela is just a front for them. Their whole fucking military is just a cartel of fucking insane people. Someone described them as like they're not the normal gay people. They're like a weird, aggressively gay cult that they're like, dude, if you even want to have sex with your wife, you are a pussy because dominating a man and raping him is the best kind of power you can have in the world. That's the kind of gay people the fucking cartel of the Suns is, which is Maduro and his military that took over in Venezuela, ruined the lives of every single person
Wow.
there, and then worked with Israel and China to undermine the US in every way possible. So I'm like all for destroying them. Every possible
Hold,
way.
hold on a second. Hold
I
on a
had
second.
no
Hold on
idea
a second. Hold on
about
a
this
second. Hold on a
leather
second.
daddy
Yeah,
Maduro.
dude. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
yeah. I mean, give me. I need a little bit more info on these aggressive gays. Okay.
They're like, yeah, the aggressive
How do you
gays.
say leather in
Yeah.
Spanish?
Yeah. And then he gets up and he's
Oh,
like,
my-
no war. And he's like dancing and trying to like look like he's just like this nice guy. I'm like, oh no, fuck you, dude. Fuck you. You're not this nice dancing dictator.
is he not a nice guy? I
A
mean,
piece of
like
shit.
if you sat down and you had brunch with him, you think you might be able to chop it up with him a little
I
bit?
think you'd be a good person if you just stabbed him in the throat if you got that close to him.
Allegedly, of course.
Allegedly. And for
I
entertainment
envision
purposes, that's what I'll say.
I think you could probably sit down and have an interesting and decent conversation with Putin.
Yes.
I
That
think he
man
would
has
be
class.
somebody. I mean, it's a different background, right? KGB,
Oh,
intelligence, things like that. I mean, it's sort of like more a strategic mindset and more of a deep thinker as opposed to. I'm not saying necessarily good or bad. I mean, he's
Right.
demonized by the West, unfairly, of course, but he's also a Chabad loyalist. So, like, he's in
Probably
bed
done some
with the
bad
dangerous
shit.
groups.
Yeah.
So, it's not like I'm ever going to like show support for state leaders. However, there's some are better than others, of course. And I would say he's more respected than others. And it's part of why I think the EU despises him because they aren't him. They're so weak and so embarrassing, and so their men are all all the NATO guys and all the EU men are like male feminists, like
Soy boy.
fags, and the
But
women
not
are
the
like
good,
psychopaths,
not the
like
aggressive
concrete haired
fags.
cunts, like
Okay, they're not aggressive
the
fags.
Ursula von der Leyen. You know what I mean? Like these people are psychotic, and they look at somebody like Putin, and he's measured and reasonable and intelligent, and that's a dude who's actually playing 4D chess. I love also that Kamala called it 3D chess.
3D.
Yeah, sweetheart, that's what it's called when you pull out a chessboard and play chess. It's 3D chess.
Hey, she's not used to that. She's not used to that. She's used to the online version.
Yeah,
That's what she's used to.
She
this is what she's used to.
playing Chinese checkers.
She's doing the best she can. Hey, well,
Playing
Soul over here
hopscotch.
on Rumble, Soul Explorer said, didn't Nick Fuentes say sex with women is gay? Did he say that? Is that what
Sex
Nick
with
have no
women
Fuentes
is
idea.
said?
gay?
Why would
That
he be
sounds
gay?
about right. That sounds about right. Well, it depends. It depends on the women.
yeah,
true.
I guess that
I
is
mean,
true.
I'm not going to say anything, universally. This is going to be a case by case sort of classification system.
basis. Oh,
Like,
Isn't Nick
that
Fuentes
term has been.
gay? Isn't he a
Is he?
pedophile?
I'm pretty sure.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure.
I think he's a gay pedophile. Could
Hold
be
on,
wrong.
hold
Don't
on,
murder
yeah.
me, grapers, whatever. Sorry about your guy.
I think he probably is gay. And honestly, I don't give a shit that
I
he's
don't care
gay.
either.
I don't really care.
Here we
Too much
go.
about
Here we go. Nick Fuentes publicly identifies as a straight and celibate incel. Okay. So yeah,
So he
but he said
identifies as
he
an
ain't getting.
incel?
He ain't get.
Whatever. I don't even really care
Yeah,
so
so
much.
he's a
I don't
self-professed
really care
incel.
about Nick
But he
Fuentes.
could. But incel means
He says that.
involuntary celibate, and he could very obviously get women. He has power and money.
Well,
He
well,
could-
hold on.
yeah,
He's
yeah.
so he often discusses himself as a misogynist, uninterested in physical contact with women.
He hates
Huh.
women.
But he also has strong anti-gay rhetoric.
So he's not an incel if he just hates women. That's just sell it. You just chose not to have sex with women because you hate them.
Yeah, but why? They're so like soft and like they got a pussy. Like I don't get it, man.
why wouldn't
Like,
you like that?
like I'm just like, and I know that the gay stuff. That's what people are born with. I mean that's the only thing that I can think in my mind because it's just like
Most.
I look over at women and then I look at a dude and I'm just like I'm like no. You know what I'm saying? I say look at all these women. Even the big ones. It's like, would you rather be gay or would you rather do the biggest woman? I said, the biggest woman. What are we talking about? It's not even close. I mean, it's just like, you know. So
Whoa.
yeah. So I'm uncertain
Yeah.
about Fuentes. All right, if he don't want any contact with women, I mean that's a little much.
Yeah.
You know, that's a lot much. Charlie, did your camera get like
Charlie turned into
my camera's all
somebody
fucked up.
snuff
Just
you?
give me a second.
I didn't think somebody came in here as the snuff job. I was like,
He's gone.
hey, some of that shit's happened live. Folks get snuffed out. You know
No.
what I'm saying? I was like,
No.
yeah.
My camera just I needed to
moves?
get in there and set the when I restart my computer, it automatically makes my camera eligible for AI, like hand gestures and shit like that.
Yeah.
So in the event that I ever do something like this, my camera goes and does some fucking AI hand gesture thing, which I'm not trying to do, and screws it all
Oh,
up. So I was trying to open it. and
Jedi
just fix
mind
it,
trick.
so,
You put the
yeah.
Jedi mind trick
Yeah.
on it. Yeah, but Nick Fuentes, I'm unsure about that. You know what I'm saying? No physical
a
contact
weirdo.
with women. If you've never had it, okay. Now I don't know. Well, you can go purchase it. I would say go purchase it and just try it out, okay? And then you'd be
I would
like,
say
never mind.
lease it. I would
Yeah,
lease
there you go.
before I buy.
Well, yeah, well, we talk about leasing. Yeah, if
I
you go to
gotcha.
one of these Asian massage parlors or something like that. Not saying that they give any type of happy endings or anything there. That's illegal. But let's say you just stumbled across one that just happened to do something like that. Then
Try
you
it.
might change your mind about that whole I don't want physical contact with women. I'm just saying.
This is like a theme though of like you don't admit you're gay, but you hate women and you're gay, but you just, like, won't admit that you're gay, like, to yourself even. So you're just, like, this self-hating, closeted gay person who pretends to be straight but hates women. Like, I've seen this pattern before.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. But he's a weird dude anyway.
Yeah.
Like, he's like over the top. I'm just like, "Why are you so over the top,
I
man?" I
don't
mean,
really, like,
and
know anything about him except I remember coming
I
across something that made it sound like he might be a pedophile, and then I wanna honestly watch the Tucker, interview with him because I wanna know why he's such a fucking weirdo. I want I wanna hear him talk for more than 30 seconds. Maybe I'll appreciate him more after that. I doubt it, though.
there's potential. I know he's big into, like, non-mixing
Yeah, like
of,
race purity.
races and stuff like that, yeah.
But
Yeah, I
then
know he's
isn't he
big into that.
Hispanic? Like Fuentes? But, like, he's
He's something.
white? I don't know, dude.
He's I don't know, white folks that are Mexican is weird to me, so, uh, white folks with Mexican names is just it's one of those things I can't get past for some reason. Like, it just doesn't
He's got
jive.
those
It's like,
beady little eyes. He can't be
yeah,
trusted.
yeah, he's that guy. But from what I understand, like, if you get Fuentes on your channel, that's like your channel gets targeted after that. Like, 'cause he's like hated, like, across multiple sectors.
Well, and then
So,
his people will, like, ruin your life, apparently, if you, like, are in any way rude about him or to him, so I think it's, like, double dangerous to have him around.
I
mhm.
I just don't have any energy one way or the other on him, honestly. I know he's said some crazy shit. He said some stuff that I agree with. I don't know. I don't understand. I haven't I really just haven't looked into his work enough to have a informed opinion on Nick Fuentes. I know he's
He's definitely
polarizing. I
he's a
know he
guy.
makes some people crazy, and I feel like
Yeah.
anytime you're that big and you're that in the public eye, you're a fucking op on some
Probably.
level. Like somebody, it's somewhere along that trajectory. Maybe it was all planned from the beginning. Maybe you got hot early and got co-opted or allowed to succeed, whatever. But I just feel like anytime you're that big, you're you're not gonna be 100% authentic. I think you're being controlled. I think it's a
Even if
it's
you
an
meant to be.
operation.
Yeah. Even if you don't
You
know,
know, I
sometimes
put
I think some
Candace in
people
that.
don't know they're being controlled.
Maybe, yeah, and that actually would be the best form of control. Or maybe you're controlled financially, like you're controlled by omission, the things that you don't ever talk about. So it's not that you actually come out right out and lie to people about it. It's just that you never talk about the elephant in the room when it's Israel or whatever it is. Like that's an example. He does actually talk about Israel, but whatever the thing is. But the problem is you're never gonna please everybody. There's always gonna be somebody that wants you to say, "Well, why aren't you talking about this?" And it's like, "Well, that's not important to me," or "I don't know enough about that," or whatever. But the run these people through purity tests, they'll always fail. I get suspicious when I see people that are unnaturally elevated. I don't know. I
Yeah.
mean, maybe what
Well,
he's
and
saying
he's
is really intelligent and super insightful, and he's got this massive audience for a reason, and I'm sure he does for some of it, but all of it, like, is it all real? I don't know.
yeah. Well, and his it's easy to so since he does criticize Israel, he still could be promoted by even Israeli interests because he's also really easy to hate. So you can be like, look at the people who criticize Israel. They're all racists. They're all racist
Well, you
incel,
well,
like, whatever.
Totally.
mhm, that's true. I think one of the weirdest things that I see is when I see somebody like, I see these channels and they have, you know, 1,000,000 followers, and then their videos get, like, 5,000 views. I'm like, "What?" Like, I'm like, "How? How out of 1,000,000 people, only 5,000 people watch your videos?" Like, it doesn't even correlate. 1,000,000?
Yeah.
And you get 5,000? Like, I'm
So
just like
at
and they're
least half
running
of
whole
those are fake.
businesses.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're, like, running whole businesses and stuff. I'm just like I mean, I'm just trying to think of the logistics of that. and something like it's like a short circuit. Like we're starting to get somewhere, and then all of a sudden, like we repel and we go opposite. We never connect. I'm like, see, they have the plaques and all this stuff. I'm just like, wow. And it's not like the people have left because their subscriber count stays the same, but they
But
got
it's like
nobody watching.
it goes the other way too. So they like prop up these people. They're like, let's give them a bunch of fake follows. Let's give them a bunch of bot comments. Let's give them a bunch of fake thumbs ups or whatever, like reposts or whatever. The real people engaging with this could be incredibly low, CNN, but like we'll make it look like it's a little bit higher. And then all the people who are actually getting like tons of traction or tons of interactions or whatever, we're gonna just like artificially lower that. We're gonna make it look like no one cares, no one sees this, no one likes it, no one comments on it, unsubscribe everyone, et cetera, et cetera. So they do both directions, both ways. It's all fucking fake out there.
Yeah,
And it's
yeah,
like one
exactly.
button switch away. It's not like they have to go actively monitor it. It's just they go to your account, they change the settings, and that's it.
Mm-hmm. So we'll
Yeah,
program.
yeah, that's true. That's true. I mean, I've seen on multiple videos people leave comments. They won't show up.
Yeah.
It'll say you have 30 comments. You go when you click on comments and you got none.
Yeah.
You go, it's like, I was like, okay, well, maybe they flagged them for some reason. There's none in the flag,
There's
but it says
something.
there's 30 comments.
Yeah.
I'm just like, well, where's the comments? like, I don't see them,
Dude, they
but
do
it
it to
says
me
they're
on
there.
even as stupid as Facebook. I'll like see my own post and it'll be like 5 comments and I'll click and there's no comments there. I have no notifications for any comments. There's no comments there. For a minute, I could use Johnny's account. Johnny could show me on his account and then I'd see the comments. But now they figured out that we live together. And so now he also can't see my comments. So I'm like, dude, they're fucking crazy. Like it's fucking retarded. There's no fucking reason to not let me see my own Facebook comments. Except you want me to feel like no one likes me and cares about me. You want me to feel like no one comments or engages with my shit. That's the only, it's psychological warfare on a ridiculously stupid level.
Yeah.
Can't stop, won't stop.
And I don't think people should be dismissive of that. Like that's actually the level that they're going to, the level of pettiness, the level of mindfuckery that's happening. It's not just enough to not have your stuff shown. They have to demoralize you at the same time. I mean, to make you get out of the business of talking about this shit. So they've demonetized people. Now they're working on the demoralization,
which is exactly
it's
1984
happening. You know, I mean,
right? The party needs to own your mind, needs to own your heart. If it doesn't, it's not one yet.
There it is. I mean, well, I don't know. It can't fuck with you a little bit, cause you'd be like, dude. I mean, I know there's people here. Why am I not seeing the people? People that watch the video and said they ain't watched it. Like you said, people all of a sudden they just unsubscribe, stop receiving notifications. It's just, and it's at the drop of a whim too. Like it'd be going, and then poof, gone. And you look over there and somebody will have, 5 followers and they'll have 50,000 the next day. You're like, hold on a second. There's no way in this hell of the next they made one video that garnered 48,000 follows. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's just like, there's no way. There's no way that's organic. Like,
dude, I was on TikTok before they realized who I was. I would get like 60,000 views, 60,000, all these fucking comments, all this, like 100,000, all this fucking interaction. And then all of a sudden, whatever happened. And now I'm like 50 views, 100 views. They'll send me, this is the most fucked up part to me. They'll send me these little notifications that are like, oh, your post got 300 views. Keep going. I'm like, you fucking assholes. Like, you absolute fucking assholes. You do 100% control if anyone does see it or not, and how many people see it or not, and like whether or not I'm allowed to be seen or not. So go fuck yourself. My emails, somebody will email me. I will reply to them and it will go straight to their trash. Not spam, not junk, trash. Replying directly to them. That shouldn't even be possible. It's so fucked up.
Exactly. The weird thing about TikTok is that ain't nobody said shit about that thing. Like at all.
Just disappeared.
They say technically it's still owned by ByteDance, but something ain't right. because like even the creators up there are saying, "Hey, I mean, we were at like you know $2, $1.50 RPM. They say they down to 16 cents RPM. It's like, hold on a second, something's up. Somebody else got a hold of this motherfucker, and that sounds like what happens when the United States
Well,
gets a hold of it.
Yeah.
Larry Ellison
Shut
bought
your
it.
shit down.
Larry
Who?
Ellison bought TikTok. Yeah, and he is an Israeli spy. He started a company called Oracle after Project Oracle, the CIA's Project Oracle. That was his first client. They are the largest CIA private contractor. I mean, they're a CIA front company. Oracle is. I mean,
Okay,
they were
okay, I see what
formed
you got.
to service the CIA, and the guy who runs it, the guy who started it, is worth $400 billion, like Elon Musk. And he bought
Okay, that's
TikTok
just a
because
little bit
he's
of
a
money.
Zionist, so that he could shut off the narrative, because everybody was finding out what Israel was doing to Gaza. So he bought it to shut everybody up from that, and then just kept whoever's running it is
Yeah, well,
is tinkering with it, and so it's definitely under Zionist control. So if that
yeah,
explains
this
anything,
The synagogue of Satan owns TikTok.
yeah, this up here says
yeah.
that the it's of course what you said, Oracle is reportedly expected to take 80% of the stake in TikTok's U.S. operations, with Chinese shareholders holding the remaining stake. But it says that the final details are still being worked out, and the deal still needs approval from Chinese government. They're saying that it hadn't happened yet, but I got a brow raised. I got a
No,
brow
it's
raised. So
they're.
something funky with it.
I think that's. I don't know that they're sitting around waiting. This is the Zionists. This isn't the
Yeah.
Democratic Socialists or somebody. This is the Zionists. When they want something to happen, they make it happen immediately. So I'm pretty sure he's in charge. I mean, I know for a fact all the Israeli stuff has gone away. So
Yeah, that is
either
true.
that was a
That ain't
condition
none
of
of
the
that up there.
sale and they're in escrow on the sale, or it's already changed hands and he's making it happen. I don't know, because there was a sense of urgency in doing that. And if they're going to get hung up in regulatory hearings about this, that's not going to work, because they need to shut this narrative down immediately. So either it was a contingency of the sale, or it's already closed, or somebody put a gun to the head of the guy who sold it to Larry Ellison and said, take all the Zionist stuff off, or you disappear. I don't know, but can't talk about it anymore on there.
It's always weird. But I don't know what. Isn't all that over? Is it over now? Is Gaza over? Is Ukraine over? Is that over now? And
No, well, it's just
allegedly
the
we got a
media.
deal. We're working a deal,
No,
or the
Allegedly.
media's just
no,
done
there's
with
no
it.
deal.
I just like that
Okay,
Trump
no
was
deal.
like,
There's no deal.
the UN was like, oh yeah, we're gonna send peacekeeping forces to Gaza, and Trump was like, I love that the UN loves my plan and that I'm the head of the peace committee there. Great job, UN. Like, that's not what they said at all. Not even close.
Huh?
Zelensky's top guy is getting rolled up on. He's fleeing. I mean, the wheels are falling off that meat grinder. It's doing exactly what they need for Ukraine, killing all the Christians, all the Ukrainian Christians, so that homeland can be prepped for the Zionist movement into there. Not
Yeah,
my
'cause the
words, theirs.
Eastern Orthodox
The
Church was
Israelis have talked
strong
about
there.
that.
Yeah.
Take out entire generation of Ukrainian men, and they consider Ukraine to be the next Jewish homeland. They've been talking about this for a while.
Oh, okay.
These things are
Okay.
interlocked. They talked about with the guy who fled Ukraine. He went to Israel. You know what I mean? This is the pipeline. Like, it's the guy Kolomoisky who financed Zelensky's rise. Zionist, dangerous
Well, like I
billionaire
said,
Zionist.
well, if they go to Ukraine, that'll give them a little bit more land, won't it? They give them a little bit more. Is that
A
Holy
little bit more
Land too? Is
Lebensraum,
Ukraine Holy
right?
Land too?
Living space.
Allegedly,
Yeah.
it's Holy Land.
Yeah, well, isn't that
Okay.
where they originally got kicked out of?
Yeah,
that
the most
started the
fertile
like
growing
the
soil in the world.
and isn't that the thing that started the series of 250 countries kicking Jewish people out if they
Huh.
first got kicked out of that area? I think that's it.
Well, I
They're
mean,
settling an ancient grudge.
oh, is that right?
Sounds like
Folks
it.
be holding on to
I
old
think
shit. I
there's
talked, I talked,
this is
I
a
talked to my dad about this when I was at the house. They talking about like slavery, and I was just like, oh, I was like, when a folk just gonna stop, just gonna let some of that old shit go. You know what I'm saying? He was talking about there was some he heard some Africans saying that uh they wanted the black people of America to come back to their rightful place, their home country. I was just like, nigga, they ain't been an African in America in like 200 years. Okay, I said, but we as far from Africans as you can be now. We ain't even in the same vicinity of an African. Whenever the last true African slave died, that's when the last one who
Yeah.
had a right to the motherland. You know, that was the last one. It's like we now, no, bro. They gonna bring our rap music over there in our saggy pants and damn, you know what I'm saying?
And you're gonna want like,
well, they,
sanitized running water and things like that, and food that's like
Yeah,
clean, and like you're not gonna
we're
have
gonna want
that.
WIC. They're gonna want WIC,
They're gonna
EBT.
like, yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
Damn. I mean, Section 8. You know what I'm saying? I'm gonna need some of that. I mean,
Well,
what's
like,
up?
and why do you want to go back to a place that sold you? I mean, people didn't come just fucking trap you and steal you. Your people fucking gave you away and sold you to these people, and that's where you want to go back to? I mean, have at it. I don't care, but like, what are you fucking thinking? I wouldn't
Lindsay,
want to go
that's
back to a
the wrong
place
narrative.
that got
That's the
rid
wrong
of
narrative,
me.
Lindsay. That's the wrong narrative. Okay. The
That's not.
correct narrative is that white people stole black people in the middle of the night. Okay.
Black people are
That's
just
the
sitting
correct
there
narrative.
having a perfect life, and white people are like, "Gotcha, bitch," and just left with
Yeah.
them.
And just
That's
ran
the
up in
story.
there and just drug you right out your bed, middle of the night. And
I got
brought you
news
over
for
here.
I got news for some of the black community. You're still slaves.
Yeah, and I'm a slave
You're
with
Yeah,
you.
it's all
slaves
good.
to the EBT. You're slaves to the Section 8. You're slaves to all the government handouts. You've just changed from chains that you can see to invisible chains. Dependency.
Amen.
Oh man,
Watch Jones
Soul
Plantation.
Explorer. Yeah, Soul Explorer said they used fried chicken as bait and caught them in nets. That's pretty. I don't even know.
That's
I
racist.
don't even
It
know if
was
they're fried chicken
watermelon.
back then.
Thank you very much.
They got
Catfish,
grapefruit.
fried catfish. Yeah, a fish fry. They had a fish
Catfish.
fry, chicken, fried chicken, and the damn put watermelon in nets, and they just jump right in. Damn, there it is.
Fried chicken is irresistible. I must confess. When done properly, fried chicken is amazing.
Yes,
So
yes. I mean, it's hard to beat. That's all I'm saying. When done properly, it's a tough one to beat.
yeah,
I think
when
that's
done properly,
universally
right? So,
loved, unless you're 100% against fried foods. And if that's your jam, it's all good. I could care less about that.
It's
every
hard
now
not
and
to love
then,
fried
I normally
foods.
not fried food, but fried chicken sandwich from Popeyes was pretty fucking awesome. I had to admit. My mom got me turned on. She's like, I had a fried chicken sandwich at Popeyes and it was great. I was like, are you putting me on? She's like, no, it was good. I was like, I don't believe you. She's like, I'm telling you. She's like, I'll go get one with you. This was a couple of years ago. And I got one with her and we sat in the parking lot and ate it. And I was like, you're right. It was pretty good. I know it's totally
Oh,
filled with chemicals and it's awful. It's the worst thing ever for you.
yeah, we're
But
not worried
it
about that.
was
You know what I'm
in
saying?
that moment, it was surprisingly good. And I've never eaten at Popeyes before or after.
I was
So
kind of
you got a good
surprised.
location. So you got
Yeah,
a good location.
some are bad.
You meaning
Locations
no
matter.
fights?
Yeah, locations matter. Like
Ah,
the
Oh,
locale
yeah.
of where you're getting your food from, that shit matters. You see here,
Castle
we
Rock.
got a nick we got a
This was
nigga
happening in
Popeyes.
Castle Rock, Colorado, or as my friend Andy calls it, White Castle.
White Castle.
So the Popeyes in White Castle,
Pretty good.
there were no fists flying.
Okay.
It was measured. Pretty
Was it
sure
like people
everybody
who were
working
actually like
there
would
was.
like take your order and then like go back there and like fix the food and then give it to you, as
Yeah.
opposed to like, what you
Yeah, I didn't
doing
have to
here?
fight anybody.
You get that.
No, I didn't have
You
to
get
fight
that
anybody. No,
sometimes.
actually, they
Like,
had a
why you
nice.
here?
Why are you interrupting me? I was on
Well,
my
we did
phone.
go through drive-through. I
Yeah.
must confess, it was a drive-through situation. So
Okay. You
can't
can
say
still
I've
get some
ever
of
been
that in
in
the
there.
drive-through. You can
And
still get some of that because
what like attitude?
yeah.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not interested in being here. Look, okay, so there's a Bojangles. There's a Bojangles right here near me. Okay, and this Bojangles, I would say it's a good location, but it depends on who's working when you go in there, what shift is working. All right,
Mm.
so you get a certain shift, and like when I walk in there, I automatically know. I walk in there and I'm like, damn. Like, see the people that I'm like, damn. Where the young Mexican folk at? You know what I'm saying? Because they like, they say they own it. I'm like, okay. You know what I'm saying? They own it. They trying to get your shit right. Your shit's a little fresh. The other guys are like, for here to go. To go, man.
Just like drooling.
All right. Take your order. That'd be $12. Okay. Well. Then they walk to the back and you're like, you gonna make my stuff? Just come back up. Uh we need some fries to the front line. I'm just like, dude. I mean, like,
You're getting
just
replaced by
I get it.
robots.
Like, yeah, I mean, I get it. You hate life. Look, I understand it, but just get me out of here at least. You know what I'm saying? I mean, at least get me out of here. You see, what people don't understand is like the quicker I can get stuff done and get people out of there, then I got time to fuck off if I want to fuck off.
Yeah, dude.
Well, I saw an interesting story that was saying that fast food is dying in part because they refused to lower their prices, but Chili's did. Chili's lowered their prices and
Oh yeah,
is dominating now. And that's true because I love Chili's. And we go all the time and it's packed. But they're saying that these fast food restaurants would rather go out of business or close stores than lower any prices. And it's like, dude, what are you doing? This is unsustainable. People pulling up menus from like 2009 from IHOP or Cracker Barrel or someplace like that. I just saw it and it was like, yeah, I remember those prices. Like that wasn't that long ago. And it was like, but it might as well be, it's like a third of the price. You're just like at some point, like the consumer kind of taps out and they're like, well, if I'm going to pay the same amount, I might as well go sit down at Chili's, in the bar, watch game, get chips and salsa, do all that shit, you know what I mean? And pay the same price for Taco Bell. Absolutely. If I've got the time, right?
right.
So like we're going to see fast food restaurants closing down and then that's going to impact commercial real estate, which is going to impact medium-sized banks. So
Yeah, and
that's
and
not the
and
only
also
thing that's going to
Chili's.
happen, but that's just
Uh-huh.
one additional thing that will be a strain on the economy when a bunch of these Taco Bells go out of business. And I just did an episode where I listed off like a ton of, I forget, it was just a long list of like the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of different fast food chains around the locations around the nation that are going out of business. They're just closing. And so like it's an apocalypse, man. And we really have fucked the money up. The money is totally broken right now. And makes me feel like they're trying to get everybody ready for a revolution or something.
Agenda
People are angry.
2030.
Well, McDonald's is a major indicator when they saying that they can't get asses in there because McDonald's I mean, that's a staple. Are they the originators of fast food? They
Well, I
almost feel
mean,
like the
yeah.
originators, yeah, or one of the founding fathers of fast food. And so you talking about
Yeah.
them saying they try? I said, well, damn, Bo. I mean, your Big Mac meal went to $11, $12. So it's just like
McRib is back.
Oh, okay, there we go. Yeah, the McRib. But I'm just like,
But the
people used
McRib
to go
being
there.
back It's a product of pork pricing. That's all it is. It comes back when pork
Okay.
pricing it gets low enough to justify it. Once it goes too high, then they discontinue it. That's why it's always kind of
Oh,
in and out
okay.
of rotation and not a permanent menu item.
Oh, got you. Yeah, so, but they were saying, like, it's like a lot of the low income people aren't coming by anymore. It's like, yeah, because you need a middle income to eat there.
Yeah.
Y
Now.
there's a thing known as a Big Mac index, and they use it as a barometer, and it's really it's actually kind of a smart thing to do if you think about the Big Mac being the same at every McDonald's internationally, right? Theoretically, it's supposed to be the same, and how much it costs. And so you use that Big Mac index to kind of track the levels of inflation internationally through the pricing of Big Macs because they're all standardized. And so you can see where things have gotten out of control. We actually wanted to go when we were in Tokyo. We walked by this McDonald's, and I mean, I haven't eaten at McDonald's in a long time. I used to when I was like when we were all roommates, back then when, 30 years ago with these guys. And so we're not opposed to going to McDonald's, but we almost went, we wanted to go, never wound up going, but we hear the ones in Japan are like way different, way better, like way different meat, way better quality, like way better. So we were like, I hadn't been, but the other 2 guys had gone before, but they were gonna take me, and I was like, "I kinda wanna see it," but we just couldn't make it work.
Yeah, that's one of the issues as well, is that you continue to go up on your price, but the product quality has suffered. If you're gonna
It
go up on your price, the
totally.
product needs to be better, okay, or at least taste the
Mm,
same.
Yeah, they've lowered
and
quality
what's
and increased prices almost everywhere though too. It's not just fast food. Like I went to a
Yeah,
restaurant the
mhm,
other day with the family and it was fucking disgusting. Like it was not just not great, it was absolutely disgusting. And I was, the last time I'd been there was I think maybe 4 years ago, right? Maybe, like, before
mhm,
COVID destroyed the whole world. The sauces were different, like, they clearly just put in a bunch of preservatives, seed oils, low quality shit, and tried to pull off the same dishes, and you can't,
mhm,
and it tastes like crap, so paying even more, and it's, like, shit that I don't wanna fucking eat, I'd rather just
yeah.
make it myself and have, like, a nice meal at home that's actually of quality things that aren't killing me, um and I want it so it's, like, not just fast food, right? It's everywhere, but I also wanna believe that people aren't eating at some of these places because they got so sick from whatever COVID is and or the injections that they have to take better care of themselves, and so they're just, like, not doing all that shit, and I don't think that's probably really it, but I wanna believe that.
Well,
Maybe it's a
private
little both.
equity is playing a role in this as well because you can look at chains like Jimmy John's and Subway that have been bought by private equity, and the quality has gone down, the portion sizes have gone down, the prices have gone up, the they structure bullshit deals where they sell all the real estate and then lease it back to themselves and cash out with big fat bonuses on these real estate sales and then indebt the company with burdensome leases that they're stuck in for 20 years. And then eventually the company goes into bankruptcy. Then they manage the bankruptcy and take it out of bankruptcy. That is the fucking strategy. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's what they're doing. And so, like, the quality is going to continue to fall off as long as private equity is pulling the strings because they have different incentives. They're not trying to give you high quality. They just really only care about the bottom line. And if you leave, they don't care because if they go bankrupt, they have ways to make that benefit them as well. So it's just a crazy system, and it's not limited to fast food. They're also buying up veterinary clinics and dry
Jesus.
cleaners and all kinds of crazy shit, man. Like mechanic shops, and it's it's it's
Car
a problem.
washes.
oh, what was the,
Car washes, yeah, all of it.
God, I'm
Anything that
trying I'm trying
generates
to think
cash
of
that, like, the normal
the.
people would use, buy them.
There was a cloth shop, cloth, like, for sewing and different stuff. Can't think of the name of it now that they had did that with. Of course, they
Michaels.
did that with Toys R Us. Yeah. Of course, they did that with Toys R Us. But I seen a Toys R Us in a mall
Like,
the other
lately?
week. Where was
What?
that? Yeah. Yeah, I was in when I took my girlfriend to Raleigh the other week. Yeah, I seen a Toys R Us. I said, "Hey, that's a Toys R Us." And she was like, "Oh yeah, they're trying to make a comeback." I was like, "Oh really?" They were in the mall. Toys R Us.
Wow.
I said, "Oh shit."
Wow.
Well,
I like it.
KB
Good. Bring it
Toys.
back.
You remember KB
Mhm.
Toys? You remember there
Yeah.
used to be
Oh
a
yeah.
store called KB Toys? Mitt Romney's company,
Mhm.
private equity, bought them up and did that same fucking thing. Saddled them with a ton of debt and bankrupted them while cashing out, squeezing all this money out of them
Yeah,
and destroying the
it,
company in the process.
it's like all this regulatory stuff that they talk about. Oh, well, we're doing this to help you, and then you look at shit like that, and you be like, "Well, where y'all's asses at for that?" I said, "We're there, but we're part of the scam, though. So I can't do shit about that. When I'm part of the scam, I can't really help it. All right. If I don't have anything invested in the scam, though, I need to shut you down.
Yep.
That's,
Well,
I
that's why I let
mean,
it be a lesson to you. If you start a business, make it a B corporation or some other sort of corporation that even if it goes public, it has to serve a very specific set of ideals and not a fiduciary duty. Because they don't want those ones. They're not going to buy those ones. They're not right because they don't want to serve your principles. They want to serve money. Um, so then you can keep your brand, keep your company safe from all of this bullshit.
Yeah, you got to
yes.
think like that. You got to be, you know, I saw a really interesting guy do a presentation in Mexico when I was down there a couple years ago, talking about how he had his setup was like incorporated in Nicaragua, company technically based in Costa Rica, bank accounts in Dominican Republic or someplace like that. I was like, what the fuck? He's like, if anybody tries to sue me for anything like you sexually harassed us or you didn't pay us our wages or some bullshit claim, right? He's like, because my company is in another country, they can't do anything about it.
Yeah, good
They'd
luck
have to
with
go
that.
to that country and sue me there. But then the
That's cool.
banking to get the money would be elsewhere, and then they'd have to do. So he's like, you make it so that they they can't do anything. Just becomes too burdensome for your employees to try to fuck you, or some asshole to try and sue you. You just it just
Yeah.
creates different areas of protection. And he, of course, does a way better job of explaining it than me because it was his presentation. But I remember watching that thinking like that seems like some pretty strategic corporate structure. Like when if you know you're going to do something that you intend to have long term, your real business, and you set it up properly that way, I think you can maybe feel like you can grow your business without the threat of somebody just some wild card coming in and just wrecking you with some bullshit lawsuit or some whatever. You know what I mean?
That's why, like, I would love to grow bigger, but I also, at some point, would then have to hire someone, and that's, like, the last thing I wanna do because I know people really well, and I am people, and I understand, like, why that's never gonna be a winning game. There aren't any people who are ever gonna value what you're doing as much as you do. It doesn't exist. You might
Mm.
find really, really good people, you might, and you more likely are gonna find people who don't give a fuck and will just do whatever they can to do as little as possible and get as much from you as they can. And so that's like the vast majority of people, unfortunately. So I'm like, I don't want to ever have to hire anybody for anything. But I
I
also have
have a
trust
virtual
issues. So
assistant. I have a virtual assistant in the Philippines, and I got
I've
that
worked with one of these
when
before.
I got that, and he's a real person. I mean, he's
Yeah.
a real dude. I mean, it's not like a AI or anything like that. But he's phenomenal. His English is better than most Americans,
Dude, and he's probably so
and
grateful.
he's and I, for activist post, I just have so much. There's so much work that I can do it, but
You don't
it'll
want
take me
to.
3 hours a day to do that, and I don't have 3 hours a day to do that, but he can do it, and I'm happy to pay him for it, and it all works. And so that was the first time I'd ever like, well, I mean, I've been working with Tony Merkel on the back end of macroaggression since the beginning, so he was always handling the tech stuff. Um, you know, but I never like went out and got myself like an employee.
Yeah.
It's not technically an employee, but But then I started talking to people that I know, like Christian Yordanev, and then his computer programmer guy who was building the back end of Activist Post, and they both had assistants as well. I was like, "Is this a thing?" They're like, "Oh, bro, what are you doing? You don't have one?" I was like, "I no, I didn't think." He's like, "You can get them to do so much." And then what I realized was that there's so much tech stuff that I'm bad at doing that my guy can do. So like I just send it to him, and while I'm asleep, he's doing it. I wake up in the morning, it's done.
See,
It's like a great.
my experience with that went the other way, and the woman, it wasn't my employee, but I was an employee of someone, and they had this employee who was also, I don't remember if it was the Philippines, it was something like that, and she was a fucking nightmare, and it was a nightmare, and she did horrible jobs at everything. She fucked everything up, and nobody would know until, then the results of the fuck up come through, and now you're like, holy shit, this has been fucked up for a week or a month or whatever. And so it can go
You
the other
certainly
way.
run that risk.
Yeah.
Yep. I booked my guy through Upwork. I've used them quite a bit
I
over
think that's
10 years or
also
so.
who they use.
And
It sounds familiar, at least.
I've had nothing but positive experiences there.
That's pretty cool.
Some better than others, but this guy, I almost kind of like feel bad that I'm underutilizing him. I feel like he can do so much more. So I had a buddy of mine who's also working with me on Activist Post. I said, I did like a 3-way message. I'm like, you're his assistant now too. So like if my guy needs you, I like just put it on my tab. So I've got me and my buddy Jeff both using the same assistant to do Activist Post stuff. So he's getting he's becoming sort of like a critical component here. But again, I every time I have to add another person, now we're now at me plus 2 more now. I feel uncomfortable a little bit,
Yeah.
like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
But do you want to
Letting
grow? Do you want to,
people in.
I also have to recognize that there's some shit I'm just bad at. Like, don't try to spend all this time learning how to code, dummy. Like, just outsource that and be strategic about it if you can,
Yeah. No, it's
The
fair.
guy's
That's why I
cheap,
have a
too.
tax guy.
It's
'cause
affordable.
he knows what to do. And he
And
saved
I
me
appreciated the
way
hookup.
more money than I could ever fucking even name. Like, he's amazing.
Yeah,
And
so
you hooked
want to
me
know
up
what's
with
the
him, and I've
best.
been using him as
Nice.
well.
Yeah, he's awesome.
Yeah,
Derek,
yeah.
just
So
if
want to know
anyone
what's
wants to
the.
know, it's Derek of
Okay.
Esoterrax. Go to esoterrax.com. He's rad.
Oh, okay. So wanted to know what's the best way to structure an illegal business. Well, the best way to structure one is become a government.
Yeah.
Some type of government of
Buy a
something.
bank.
That's the best way to structure it.
It's the only way. The
You
government
know,
is
I
just
need to
the
look in.
mafia that won.
I need to look into this. I see somebody come across my timeline, and they talked about, if I'm correct, Iceland. All right, and they said that in 2008 they officially did what we talk about all the time.
Yeah.
Shut the
Oh, yeah,
government
the
down,
bankers.
arrested the bankers, threw them in jail, and then he said 15 years later they're right back where they started.
Yeah. Dude, they're not gonna just go away. They're good
Yeah,
at
that's not.
infiltrating, subverting, and taking control. So they're just gonna do that
They're
again.
exactly right back where they started.
Well,
They're like
because people
cockroaches,
don't
okay?
understand that. They don't understand that once you create a structure, these motherfuckers are going to come into it. They're going to masquerade as other people, and they're going to invert, and they're going to like, those are the classic. We already fucking know it, but people don't. They don't know. They don't pay attention, and they're just like, revolt, haha, we won. And then now, like, yeah, but what are you going to do? What are you going to do differently? How are you
Now
going
you
to
got to
do it?
create a system.
Oh, we don't need to worry about that now. We just need to kill and shoot and in jail people. Okay, have fun. We'll be right back where we started.
Yeah, so I was kind of interested in that. I was like, man, I need to check that out.
It's
That's what we always talk
hilarious.
about. But it's it's always what I harken back to. It's like, okay, it's now that it's destroyed, what do you do now? And
The
folks' eyes
exact
are just
same thing
wide.
we
It was
did
like,
before.
it's just like, it's like, oh well, we need to create leadership. I said, okay, so that leadership's gonna have power. I got you. Okay, are they gonna have power over you? Power to make laws? Is that type of power they gonna have? I'm just wondering. That's it. Or are you just gonna bring everybody in a room and have a vote? Which is crazy too, because they're stupid people.
Well, exactly.
You
So
know,
this is the other thing is we're at the end of our fucking long-term control like that has eugenicized and just fucking obliterated all people's ability. This was planned out so well. They did it so well. I hate congratulating them, but holy shit, did they do it well? Everybody's fucking stupid now. Everybody is conditioned to need to receive something in order to even be slightly okay. Nobody knows how to do jack shit. Nobody can grow a fucking vegetable, let alone like hunt, right? Or like clean water and distribute it or any fucking thing. So every time somebody talks about this, they're like, we need to revolt. I just say, and then do what? And they can never answer the question. And I say, well, then go fuck yourself, you fucking idiot. You don't even know how to take care of your goddamn self, but you're going to somehow take care of a whole fucking world. I'm not saying don't try. I'm saying like you need to do way better than you're doing right now to even begin. So why don't you start with your fucking self? Good God.
that's tough though. You know, everybody has the answer until it's time to start actually doing shit.
Take
You
care of
know,
your
I've
fucking
heard this
self is
so
the
much.
hardest fucking thing anybody could ever fucking do. Nobody, that's why nobody does it.
eh, You know, one of the famous last lines before shit falls apart is, "All you got to do is." All you got to do is, "Oh,
Trust
okay."
me.
Is that all you got to do?
All you have to do
I
is
mean,
trust
hey,
me.
well, let's go ahead and let's go. Let's do it. All
Yeah.
you got to do is, I hear it all the time. My line of work. Oh, what you mean I need an appointment? All you got to do is, oh, okay, go, come on.
Proof
I
it.
was like, I walked right out there. I was like, boom, boom, boom. There goes the code. All right, now what? Now what? They just look at me. Now what?
You said
Well,
that wasn't all I had to do
uh,
then.
yeah. They're like, man, I
Uh,
just go to Advanced Auto and they scan. They can give me a code. I'm like, cool. You got the code. Now what you do? They're like, well, come on, let's go. All you got to do is, like, but life ain't that simple. I mean, people just want to put it just right here in this box. It's like you just do this one thing and it just magically happens. Everything like we got magic all over the place. We just got magic and stuff just happens. Y'all just take it in the back and you hook your magic box up to it and it just tells you. I was like, oh, okay. Well, shit, let me bring that magic box out to you and let's see what you can do with it. Why didn't you buy your magic box already? They cheap.
yeah.
They got it. I mean, just go buy you one. Buy your magic box. Hook it up to it. Yeah. You can fix it too, right?
That was the
Come on, man.
that was what the Bolsheviks did. Was they killed all the seized the methods of means of production, but didn't know how to run the factories because they were all uneducated peasant farmer retards, that illiterates that killed all the upper management and then went, now what? And
Now
the
we all
answer was
starve to
bring in the
death.
Americans to run it. They brought in the Americans
Yeah.
management teams to run it. So, like, you know, I mean, like Antifa is going to take over. What are they going to do? Imagine Antifa like trying to be in charge of, I don't like making brunch reservations on Easter Sunday. Couldn't even pull
Yeah.
that off, let alone run the government. Are you serious? Holy shit. These people are incompetent retards. You're the I mean, I understand what they're used for. They're the brown shirts. They're not actually going to run the government. They're just going to create all this. The oligarchs will parachute in and run the government, of course, and then slaughter all those dumb dummies that haven't read a history book. So
Yeah. Well, we seen what happened when folks took the reins over. Chaz Shop.
Yeah.
They gave us a front row view. Chaz Chop. Niggas out there, they couldn't grow a garden, and they were asking for vegan pizzas. Folks to deliver vegan
and
pizza
they
to them. I'm like,
People got
what?
murdered.
and the first thing they did was put up a border and tax the
Patrol
white
it.
people.
And patrolled it.
Yeah.
They had a
Yeah,
police force and a border instantly, and then people died because they got murdered. People got raped, and then they were like, "Well, that's just because whatever. What would they were bad people were there and they didn't do it
All you
right."
got to do is
If your system depends on people doing what you wanted them to do from the beginning, your system will fail, like you idiot. Whoever
that's
does
what
what
I'm
you want
saying.
them to do.
So yeah, created a border. Folks, somebody gets shot in there. They won't let paramedics in there. So they don't know how to save nobody. Where's the nurse? How you gonna stop the bleeding? Folk die. It's just like they want folks to bring them pizzas.
then they
I'm
taxed
just like,
they taxed
uh,
Whitey.
Yeah,
Remember?
exactly.
There was
But yeah,
the
yeah,
honky tax.
Okay.
yeah. Give a brown person
Give give a
$5.
black person $5 today.
Yeah. I
You know,
don't know what you were
like
gonna
they're just
spend it on in
mini
there, but I mean,
tyrants. They're just status. You know,
They are.
ultimately that's the thing is they have a status mentality. They'll never they don't have the capacity to envision some real sort of changed society. They fall right back into the exact same structure, just with a different name and different psychopaths in charge. Instead of the police, it's the gang members inside Chaz slash Chop, you know, but you still created the same structure
Yeah.
because you're not creative.
And because you don't even take care of yourself. You don't even know how to live,
You got to
just
clean your
live
room.
life. Yeah, clean your goddamn room.
exactly, exactly. And so I mean that was failed right out the gate, you know. But
Yeah.
they let him have it for a while, which was absolutely insane that they managed to. The fact that they ran the police out of their own station, I'm just like, what? Like, like they left.
I felt like I was on acid during that summer.
Yeah.
It was the
It's the
craziest shit I've
weirdest.
ever
That's got
seen.
to be the weirdest
Like,
summer in like the past 100, 200 years. Got to
Yeah.
be.
That's
I mean, it was so like, you know, the arresting surfers and bulldozing sand in the skate parks and shit like that. And then like the Chaz Chop, they're like, that's fine.
Yeah. Go
And
ahead.
you're like, wait, what?
That's
That's
fine.
fine? This thing is not violating it. So it was like everything got completely inverted. It was wild, man.
So you know what's
Yeah, yeah.
weird?
BLM. Oh, you go ahead.
The police step down or whatever, let that happen. All over, we're seeing a similar sort of thing, right? Where they're like not arresting people for things and they're not upholding the law and they're not, and they're
Mm-mm.
being told to stand down and they do. And you're kind of like, well, what the fuck aren't they just supposed to? And who's telling them? And like, why do they have to listen to those people? And then you realize that like police are a city and city council force. Sheriffs are the people who actually have the ability to say, this is or is not constitutional, or I will or will not enforce this on my
Mm-hmm.
own, not because someone told me to. And so it matters which sheriff you elect wherever you're at, way more than I ever knew, which is something we learned.
Yeah.
But also, I would, if we were gonna defund anybody, I would maybe defund city police, but then like switch that money over to the sheriff's office, which young Lindsay would hate me for saying. But if you like, there are people, there are sheriffs, and there are counties that did actually stand up against COVID because their sheriff was fucking hardcore, right? Because they elected the right person who actually gives a shit about people, and what's right and wrong, and what's actually legal and not just like is beholden to a city council that's going to like slap them on the wrist and take away their toys or whatever, fire them or other things. So yeah, I didn't know city police, and it's not the police people. It's like the force and the idea of it, the structure of it itself, that is perhaps not the best thing we could do if we're going to have a policing force. It should probably be in the sheriff's hands.
Shouldn't have them trained by the IDF either.
Yeah, that's also true.
Yeah, I don't know, man.
And they shouldn't have civil asset
We
forfeiture because that's some bullshit right there. That
That's
makes the
also
police
bullshit.
see the general public as a cash register.
Yeah.
I'm just like we got hit with the holy trinity of bullshit. COVID lockdowns, BLM, and fucking autonomous zones. I'm just like, how, how did we get hit with this all at once? This was one summer. I mean, I mean,
A
it's
hell of a
just
time to be paying attention.
Dude, and it wasn't just the sheriffs, right? It was then you learn too that like coroners matter. You have to elect the right coroners because the coroners fucking are the ones who like upped all those numbers and like switched all the fucking data and made it look like something was happening that wasn't. And so you're like, well, fuck, we have to pay attention to our fucking coroners too. Like all these weird positions I never knew mattered. What the fuck is a comptroller? Like, do they also play a big part in this that I didn't realize? Holy shit.
probably so.
I
I'm just,
I learned that coroners get voted on. I saw a billboard when I was in Vegas and it was like vote for like Steve Jenkins for coroner. I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah,
That's a
and
weird thing to run on. Like,
because they never had to like even advertise before because
like to
nobody
vote
gave a
for,
shit
like,
about who was the coroner. And so they just like in on my county I grew up in, there was just one. And they just every time there was an election, that was the only one. So like that was the coroner. But like, if you're in the pockets of whoever the fuck and they're pulling a pandemic, like it matters who the coroner is. So you better elect a motherfucker that you
yeah,
actually trust. Holy shit, who knew?
And
probably
then
makes you,
doctors were completely confused on how to do their job. I mean, they were baffled. They were like,
you know,
I,
I,
what?
I, I think Lindsay, you kind of brought up an interesting point. I wonder if anybody with a research background has taken a look at the money funneling into coroners
Yes.
election campaigns in 2019 or early
Yes.
2020 or 2018. If somebody's taking a look at that, I'd love to see what the numbers, if they paint a picture of
Yeah.
dark
I
money
don't remember
Soros
if it was
types
like
financing that.
maybe it was SGT or something that had people who had done exactly that and showed exactly that. Like these were all the WEF, George Soros fucking people who
Oh,
were
okay.
going along with it. And the, random places that didn't, I don't know if they just didn't succeed in getting people in or there are places, but it tended to be red because let's face it, whether you like the GOP or not, the people who tend to be red actually do often, not the people who have been placed in power, but like the people do actually tend to respect the idea of like less government, right? Like less government involvement in your life. And so there's
Yeah.
people who tend to respect that like people have a right to live and have some level of freedom and have some level of like non-government. So those places tended to have the people who didn't just go along with it. So it's not like because Republicans are better, right? Or like that there's something about them that you should like as a party, but just because of that one principle seemed to be there were less people who were in the pockets or there was less people who were able to get it voted in those places, right? I so it is fascinating actually. Yeah, and all these again, these positions you wouldn't have even been watching until after it happened. And then you're like, "Whoa, that turned out to matter a
But
lot."
in retrospect,
Yeah,
you understand now that it does matter a lot. And then you go, if I knew a fake pandemic was coming and I was going to have to be in a position to juice the numbers, I'm going to need my people in there. I'm going to need them in the coroner's position. I'm going to need them in, I don't know, some other sort of agencies, HHS and places like that. I don't know. Whatever, if
sheriff.
it's a matter of running for an election, then you're going to need money, and something tells me that if you knew this was on the calendar, and of course they did, then you probably started financing people in advance of it.
Yep. Yeah. I believe it was SGTU, but I would not know like which episode or which person, but he tends to have
Right.
people on that I think are a bit crazy and also people who've done really amazing research into, shit like that. So I believe it. That was where I had heard this. Yeah. And then, like, so places then I paid attention, after this, like, in our local elections, like, who were the coroners and what were they running on? And, like, you could tell the ones that were like, "Well, I'm not gonna fucking fudge data, motherfucker." So you're like, "Okay, I'm voting for that motherfucker." You're like, if you're gonna come out and say that, like, I know exactly what you're talking about in code here, and you're gonna be my guy, which I never would have even fucking cared who but this is what I'm talking about too, like, I vote in local elections because I do see that it matters. And I do think sometimes there's also elections locally that are also tampered with and your vote doesn't count, but at least it's worth a try to try to get like, those people not in those offices so that perhaps they can't pull shit as easily on you, especially in your hometown or your county or your state. Federally, who fucking knows what's going on? Venezuela seems to know.
It's
They've got some
and of
real
course,
lefties in Denver.
Yeah,
yeah,
dude.
and of course, all that
Some
is springboarded
dangerous
into
ideas.
the catastrophe that is the world now. I mean, you know what I'm saying? I mean, it was just a purity, just a damn jetpack that we tied to the back of it, and we just launched that bitch. Um, and people still don't know. They still don't understand. They still question why we're in the state we're in right now. And I'm just like, okay. I mean, it's almost like we got dropped back into a previous dimension or a different dimension again. Like, or people got their memory wiped or something. It's all. I mean, it's like they don't remember. They're
Well,
just
they
trying to
can
figure out why life's like the way it is now. I'm just like, Do you remember what was happening? You remember what we did?
No,
What
they
are you talking
don't.
about?
They literally don't. And then you talk to them and you're like, "Remember this?" And they're like, "No." You're like, "Remember when you guys said that you would take our children, our jobs, our fucking everything if we didn't, like, inject ourselves?" Like, "We never said that." Like, "You what?" But and this is what weirds me out is I'm like, I don't know because people do really have poor memories. They also avoid unpleasant truths, right? Psychologically, like, these are things that we do to ourselves. We're in denial and all that sort of stuff. But I also, have seen and reported on Rogue Soul on various episodes, even way back when this was all starting, 2020, whatever, of these potential ways that they have to update people's memories. And especially if you were to be injected with mRNA, and especially if you were near a 5G tower, it seems like they're able to change your memory, change the way you think. And that's crazy enough, but you're like, well, all the people who seem to not remember seem to also be people who injected themselves with mRNA. So do they, like, literally not remember? I don't know. It is totally possible that it is both, like, the psychologically, like, just denial, we don't wanna talk about it anymore, and it's also potentially possible that it is this technological way they have of changing people's memories, changing the way people believe about things and think about things and changing their memories. That's straight from, West Point, like, lectures that you can find still to this day, where they talk about it. They're like, yeah, using they don't call it 5G, right? They call it I don't even remember, so whatever radiation, right? Millimeter wave radiation. Using millimeter waves from afar, if the person has this mRNA and some kind of metal or something. What was graphene. Oh, and what else was in the injection? Graphene. Okay, so using graphene, mRNA, and millimeter wave technology, we can change people's memories. We can add memories that never occurred. We can change their beliefs, like literally their spiritual, religious, their understanding of the world. And that's what they say. And people are like, well, that's bullshit, right? They just want you to believe that. Maybe. But also, like, look at all these people now who seem to be living it. Coincidence?
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yes, well, so it's
A little bit rough.
yeah, when they talk about the movement and, eliminating population, you just start to be like, maybe you're right. It's just like you're like,
That's
but I know
the
what y'all want to
that's
I know what y'all want to do though. I know what y'all want to do. Like in my mind, I've got an idea of what would be best, but I know what y'all want to do. So it's just like, it ain't gonna quite work, you know, the way I'm thinking. But it's just like oh man, if we got less people, it's like, would it be so bad? I'm not sure. All right, let's just say that. Uncertainty.
that's the hardest part about writing this book I'm writing right now is and I've been breaking it up over the course of, uh, 3 different summers, but it's like these people it's about eugenics. These people are crazy. Like, the way they see the world is just bonkers. But then you see the people that they're eliminating, you know, and you start to understand their mentality, not like agree with it, but you understand where they're coming from, where they just keep trying and trying and trying to like colonize these people, and they're dealing with such a massive IQ difference that that they start seeing these people as non-human simply
Mhm.
because they're like they're so fucking stupid. We can't get them to understand anything, and that's a like a real issue, right? But then they take that and then it's like therefore these people don't deserve to be treated well, they deserve to be subjugated. Like it gets really dark from there, but like there are some truths in their thinking when they approach these people, and they are quite literally double like the population IQ in some of like the sub-Saharan African nations, or some of the Micronesia, like Indonesia, like the island places that the Dutch are colonizing, the British are colonizing. They're like, these people are fucking retarded. Like
I mean,
we
and they
have to
literally are
enslave them.
retarded, though. I mean, like,
Legally,
their
yes.
IQs are literally
Legal,
below
like
80.
right, is below and so, but instead of being like,
No
oh, we
offense.
can still trade with them, they're like, nah, we have to enslave them. and we have to murder a bunch of them too. So like it immediately goes
It's like,
dark, right?
could we
But
skip the murdering part? I mean, if you
they can't.
if you
They just
enslave
it's
alone,
part of
that's
the
bad
package.
enough, okay? Enslaving
No, it's
alone is
part of the
bad enough.
package.
Okay. Oh, that's
What
part
they
of the package.
do,
Okay.
what they
It's a package
do
deal.
is they split them in two. When they're going to take a country, when they're going to colonize a country, they split it in two, and then they finance one side to wipe out the other side. So it's not actually necessarily the British or the Dutch or whatever who's doing it. It's they get them to fight each other for money, and they pay both
Okay.
sides, and then whoever wins, like heads they win, tails they win. It doesn't
They
matter.
do it.
So like
Yeah.
then
They
they
do it here
just
too.
then there's half the people left, and then the ones that are there, then they come in with their troops and they colonize them. But in fact, the British colonized them without even necessarily having the British army. It was the British East India Company, which had its own private army, which was twice the size of the British army. So it was like if Amazon bought like the Blackwater, whatever Blackwater has become. What if Amazon
Mhm.
bought Blackwater, like its own private mercenary group? You'd be like, what the fuck is going? And then they'd set up all these trade deals around the world and sent Blackwater in to go negotiate it and like murder half the people. Like that was what was going on back in like the
Oh, okay.
1600s with all this shit. So it's just how it is, man. It's just
They're
how
still
it's
doing
been
it.
for years and years and years. And the British East India Company, like, what were their two biggest assets that they ran? Drugs and people,
Yeah.
slaves and opium.
Oh, and it's still what
And they
you
ran it
are
for
running
200
if
years
you
in a row
are.
without anybody putting up a fight because they quite literally were above the laws. They answered to no law. So it was like this rogue company that just had 50% of the world's global trade, like Amazon times 1,000, and its own private army. And you just go, oh my God, like that sounds crazy. Like that's how the British conquered India, was with that group.
Yeah,
Totally nuts, man.
totally nuts. It's pretty
Totally
wild. They're
nuts.
still doing it in
When I hear
Africa. China, Russia,
totally
US all do it in Africa. They divide and conquer and they get the spoils of war and
Chinese
have their
are doing it in
slaves.
Africa too. Yeah, in
Who?
a weird kind of way, like not an overtly colonizing way, but more like financial colonization,
Yeah. Well,
resource extraction, all the same shit, but just a little bit different.
and then in the US too, you can see, especially in like the 70s and 80s, right? In the gang wars, like that was definitely intentional divide and conquer funded. Like, how'd you get these boxes of grenades and guns? Like, I'm pretty sure that wasn't an accident. Like, it doesn't just not an opportunity everybody has, right? So, yeah, go kill each other, take care of each other. If you didn't have like gangster rap, which was a bunch of white guys who were like, how can we degrade this community, right? And then if you didn't have the intentional divide and conquer of the gang warfare and you didn't have Planned Parenthood, how many fucking more black people would there be in the US right now? Could we even put a number on it? Like, 'cause it's crazy, actually.
Planned Parenthood's the number one killer of black babies.
Number one killer of black babies,
black
and the
people.
second one is fucking gang violence, right? It's crazy.
So you've
So
been
they
having
do
a
it here too.
eugenics program run on you on the black community. Yeah, it sucks, man.
Mm-hmm.
You
It's
know,
fucked up.
what was it like in 1960 or 70? They were 13%, and they're still 13% now. Like those numbers don't jive.
Really?
Yeah, they haven't grown in percentage.
Oh, has it been the same?
Black community,
Really?
black people. Yeah, it's still like the same
I
percentage.
feel like it'd be like 30% today. If none of
Yeah,
that shit
well,
happened.
I
If
had a couple
eugenicists didn't
factors.
have their hands all dirty.
But look, here's what the deal is. Okay, I mean, you fall for the bait. I don't
Yeah,
know
it's true
what you want
though.
me to do. You
Right.
fall for the bait.
No
If
one
you
can
fall
stop
for
you
the
but
bait,
you.
then I mean, what are you gonna do about that? Like, there's nothing you can do, and especially when people are
Here
dead
comes the
set on
new
their
bait.
ideals. Mm-hmm.
Here comes the new bait. Stable coins, CBDCs, free money for people in the form of a bribe. that cost them nothing. That to
Sam Altman, dude, scan your eyeball. Here's some fucking fake money. Now I own
There
your
you go.
goddamn iris. It's probably the most valuable thing in your body.
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
And
and then I
when
can
you say
open
it
all
like
your
that,
bank or whatever I need for your your face ID, all that shit. I just
the
had
Face
Hakeem
ID and
Anwar
stuff's
on.
always
You
been
know
weird to
him?
me.
Lindsay, have you guys ever talked to Hakeem Anwar from Above Phone?
No.
Oh, he's cool. He's built these phones and laptops that are like de-Googled, de-Linuxed laptops that are like super private.
Ooh.
And I think people need to kind of
Go
start
that
thinking
way.
about that as an option, because it's getting to the point where we know our data is being used. We know it's being harvested. We only feel like you can't do anything about it. You really can. But if you're someone like me who's like tech retarded, like the idea of like a new phone like that was pretty intimidating. But he sent me one anyway,
Oh, cool.
and I
Oh,
love
that's
it.
rad.
It's fucking great.
I remember trying to
Badass. You
get
can do all kinds of shit with it.
what was it called? I feel like it was called the free phone or something, but that was like a while ago in 2012. And it was like
Obama
a
phone?
huh?
The Obama phone?
No. No, it was
Oh.
like exactly what you're talking about. And it was a Kickstarter, but whatever Kickstarter was called
Oh.
back, it was a different thing than Kickstarter. It was just for tech. All the transhumanists were into it. It was Elon Musk was into it. And then there was that project that exactly like you're describing. So I don't know if this
Oh,
is
Y
the outcome of
Combinator.
that or if this was one that failed and the one you're talking about succeeded. But way back then I was like tapped into that. That went by the wayside. So I didn't know anyone actually succeeded in it. It's exciting.
Well, I mean, they won't succeed in everything, but I'll be damned if they won't continue to try.
Yeah, humans are good at that.
That's one thing that they got is perseverance. All right, there's no doubt about that. They got perseverance, and they in fact have time on their side because there's so many of them. And even if they're eliminated, they know that their ways and their memory will linger on in a generation to come. They said somebody's going to come back through and is going to finish my work. They're sure of it.
For sure.
And I'm sure of it too. Yeah, I'm sure of it too.
Hell
Somebody
yeah.
is going to pick up the mantle. They're going to be like, you know what? I read my man's old work, and he right. These some bitches out here ain't shit, and we should enslave them and rule over. Let's work on that. I mean,
They're
I know it
practically
sounds
begging
crazy, but
for
it's
it.
just, yeah. I mean, look at them. Don't know, have no direction. Don't know what to do with their lives. Wasting it away. Let me come through and let me show them the way. All right, let me show them. It usually has something to
In
do with.
Canada, they're offering medical assistance in dying for children. So
Well,
that's
there
kind
you
of
go.
where we
Hey,
are north of the
look,
border.
if you know it's over, you know what I'm saying, and that's kind
Had a
of
bad
early to know that it's
sophomore
over.
year.
But if you know, you know. Yeah.
Hey, if they know their fucking gender and their sexual orientation at like 2, then they obviously know if they want to die or not.
Yeah, there you
Let
go.
the kids choose what they want.
Let the kids die.
Yeah, the kids die.
That's
Slow, fast, however they want it.
Yeah, the medical assistance death is it's always like you know, I
There was a
understand it for
girl.
some people if they're
There's a
like
girl in Colorado who had
terminal. Well, I'm like,
anorexia, really severe,
mhm.
obviously, like really severe. You're basically dying anyway. You're gonna probably die, but you might not. And her doctor here in Colorado was like, "Well, you could die. We'll just kill you." I'm like, hold up, dude. This is a person with like severe psychological trauma and like really deep issues. And somehow they're going to be able to choose whether or not they want to die. And that's appropriate to you. And it was a young girl. I don't remember her exact age, but I want to say she was like somewhere around 18, 19, 20, like pretty young. That doesn't seem like the case we were told assisted dying was going to be used for, right?
Yeah, that probably seems like
yeah,
it's just pushing you over the edge.
Yeah, like just
Yeah,
like you're a psychopath and you're trying to see who you can get to choose to die.
so you
Who
needed
can
some
you
help,
kill?
right?
this is
Hey,
the
well,
slippery
assist it.
slope of eugenics.
Yeah.
Hey, assist
Yeah.
it. So we're just trying to assist. We gave them all the options. All the options were laid before you. It's like, do you want to go through this rigorous? It's going to take a whole lot of energy. It's going to take a whole lot of time to make this recovery, or we can help you today, and your pain
Do you
could
want
be
us to
over in a
kill you
few
a month from
minutes.
now, a week from now, or tomorrow?
You have freedom. You get to choose.
Yeah, but they make it sound so. It's like, man, you could go through all this and it may not work at the end, or we could help you out.
Just kill you.
We
It's
This is from
just
the bottom
the
of our heart.
weirdest sales pitch ever. It feels
Is
gross on its surface, right? And it feels like is this like a commission driven business?
Yeah.
Like who's talking? It's just
it's a
I mean, is
commission driven.
what is happening here? Is there some sort of financial incentive in this? Is because there's a financial incentive in like the medical transition
Yeah.
industry, we know, and torturing all these children and converting them into half people. And so I'm wondering maybe there's financial incentives in the medical assistance and dying industry as well.
That's
I
a
mean,
good
it's obviously
question.
gross, but
They'd be like,
um,
how many did you get this week, Tom? I got 5 this week. Damn,
Ooh.
you racking
yeah,
up.
man.
I mean, you racking up, Tom. That's $8,000. You got 5 of them. Your check gonna look good at the end of the month.
Yeah.
My God, I mean,
Yeah.
it's some rough stuff. I mean,
Dude, they're like,
you know,
do you know how you hate yourself and life is really hard? Well, let's die. You could die. Remember?
yeah.
We
My favorite
bullshitting.
one is the one I seen
Going somewhere.
from Canada, and the chick she called up, and she's in a wheelchair, and she's like, hey, I'm trying to get one of those uh power assisted chairs to go up the stairs, and they were like, what about medical assisted death? What about that?
What, dude?
The chair, the,
We can't give you
the
the
chair
chair
stuff
because it's out
is
of
expensive.
coverage, but
Yeah.
we can kill you, and
Yeah.
that is always covered.
Dude, it's just gonna
I
be by
mean,
firing squad eventually, and people are gonna be out in a field. They're gonna
let's.
shoot. Some of them are gonna slowly bleed out, and like that's how they die. Poodles are gonna come
I
like
would
they used
want
to on the battlefields and just rip their throats out to make sure they're dead. Like that's what poodles are
Golly.
for.
Hey,
What about like a
here's the one key
Japanese game
factor.
show, but like with real, actual potential death, filled with
Samurai
all the people
swords.
that are signed up for the medical assistance and dying program? You could. I don't know if you're familiar with Japanese game. The beauty, the fucking hilariousness of Japanese game shows. But if you
So
haven't
great.
gotten into that thread, you need to check it out. They don't have the same sort of like legal standards or
Ethical
waivers that
standards.
people need to sign. They put these people through the ringer, chasing them with fake dinosaurs and shit like that. It's fucking hysterical. But if we were to take this, blend it with the Canadians and find some sort of Japanese game show / Canadian medical assistance and dying program where these participants could go out in a game show environment, and then of course we'd have to be able to bet on them, right? It'd be like Running Man, sort
Yeah.
of,
Yep.
but funny, with people who don't mind dying because they want to die anyway, right? You
There
get a
you go.
juice, produce it. It'd be
This is a
great.
billion-dollar
This will be
idea.
this will be fantastic.
Oh man, here's what's key is that
Brought to you by Day
at the
Zero.
end, at the end of
By
all
Day Zero,
this,
another one of our great ideas.
Yes.
at the end of all this, you won't have to worry about your high deductible. We'll cover that for you.
That's true. But we have to inject you first.
Yeah,
Brought to you by
that was
DraftKings.
that was my favorite one, the German one. When I seen that, and they were like, "Yeah, we'll help you die, but you need to make sure you take your COVID shot first." I was like,
Proving that it's about money, at least, right?
What a here's an angle. Here's a Day Zero angle. What if we got in the business of being sort of the broker middleman? Sponsorship deals for people to wear sponsored gear when they go into the medical assistance and dying pod in Canada. Like you're wearing like the new Adidas gear and it's brought to you by, and then of course that money would go half to us and then half to the family of the person who died. right?
Yes.
Reasonable,
Okay.
not too ghoulish.
We can work
Not
that.
too
No,
ghoulish.
We can work that. We can work that.
want to wear you want
I,
your dope ass Adidas featured in with this person's last in her in an Adidas tracksuit. Well, that's going to cost you $7,500.
Wasn't that how
there it is.
a Hail Bop comet? What was the Hail Bop comet cult?
Heaven's Gate
Heaven's
with
Gate.
Doe.
They're all Adidas doped out, like fresh. Yeah.
Nike, black Nike, purple Nikes.
Purple
was it?
Nikes.
Yeah, it was purple Nikes, I believe. It
Dude,
was
that
very
was the-
fun.
And they all drank the juice.
Yeah.
They all
that
drank
was
the juice.
The first website I ever went to was the Heaven's Gate.
Really?
You were gonna go
Yep.
hang out with them.
No, we got the internet
okay.
finally, and I was like, oh, what can we do on the internet? And people were like, we could go to the Heaven's Gate cult website, and I was like, fuck yeah, let's do that. And then that's where we went.
Fantastic use of the internet for the first time.
That's what I thought.
What did you think of it? I don't recall ever going there.
It was pretty normal looking. I mean, it wasn't weird. It was weird because it's a cult and they were already dead, I think, at that point. But it was just like, yeah, we're a group of people, and here comes this comet, blah blah blah. It looked like a pretty normal page.
This is a fairly normal page for people who off
For people who
themselves, you know.
killed themselves for a comet. It's a weirdly normal looking page.
Yeah. Hey, here's the only thing that we can hope is that they made it to the motherland on that said comet.
Yes.
Or whatever heavenly place they were going.
It was the
All
ship
right.
that was
guys.
behind the comet. They needed to get to the
Ah.
ship. When it passed over, they needed to. Their souls would get captured by the ship that was
there
actually
it is.
hiding
There
behind
it
the
is.
comet.
So
There
we've
it
been
is.
doing the
Nikes
Atlas
because
31 thing forever. We've always imagined
I
that
feel like-
every object is alien craft.
So do we feel like we missed it now that the 3 eye in that in that
it's
comet
coming
gone,
in
or whatever?
19 days. 19 days it'll be closest to Earth.
19 days, guys.
Yeah.
You get ready. Don't miss it.
Get ready.
This is not
holy shit.
not any type of advice at all. I'm just saying.
We're not saying you should kill yourself as a cult for this comet in 19
We're
days.
not saying that at all. But if you plan on it, consider adding us as beneficiaries on your life insurance policy. I think Cory suggested that one time. That we in adding to our list of ghoulish ideas, not to be confused with the day zero guillotine, that we also encourage our cult followers to add us onto their insurance policies.
Yes. Absolutely.
Hey, I see the perfect I see the perfect guillotine in a movie, and you got the normal one that just drops down and cuts off the one head. With this one, it crunk up the side, and they have 4 people there, and so the blade went up the side, and they're releasing, and it swung through, and it cut off all 4 heads with one swing. I said, that's the one we need to recreate.
That's efficient. Yeah.
That's the one we need to
Especially
recreate.
for cults, because you can stack them in there. All of you can pull the lever at once. There you go.
There you go. There you go. That's what we're looking. Okay, that's what we're looking. Guys, we appreciate y'all for being with us this week on Day Zero. We're going to go ahead and go around the round table. Lindsey, go ahead and give them a little shout out. What you got going on?
Roguesoul.org is the place to find my books. Book 101 sessions with me. Check out the shop, the classes, and the orgone in the shop, and all of the links to my socials and where you can watch or listen to Rogue Soul.
There it is. Charlie, what we got?
Macroaggressions. I've got Zoe Smith on. Just came out today talking about serial killers in white lab coats. Very interesting. She worked in medical coding during COVID and saw that, wrote a book about it, got super banned, even by the publisher, went through a bunch of bullshit. She's been on before, so check that out. It's a great one. Activistpost.com. Get your news over there. Naturalblaze.com. Alternative health. Check it out. CoryHughes.org.
All right. Yeah, CoryHughes.org, bloodyhistory.substack.com. Wonderful History JFK book. Lee Harvey Oswald in black and white. Go check out his recent JFK assassination podcast. He was live in Miami. He's still in Florida for some reason. He hadn't been abducted, has he?
Florida man.
Yeah, but he said he
You can
hated
take
Florida. He's
man
been
out
there
of
for
Florida,
3
but
weeks.
you can't take the Florida man truly truly ever out of Florida.
He's down there and it's warm. He's like, shit, I don't know if I want to go back or not.
Oh, it's
I
so cold
guarantee you
here.
that's what it is. It's warm down there. He's like, man, shit on this. So maybe he'll be back this week for Beyond the Cube, potentially. I hope so. If not, maybe he'll message me. But Thursday nights we did the Beyond the Cube, 9:30 p.m. Eastern. All my stuff's on xq420.com. Appreciate everybody for being here for day 213. We'll be back next week for day 214. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving and peace out.